Okay, fine. Today we will start the classes. Okay. So what you have your notebooks with you now. So whatever you feel important, you can just make a note of those things. So it is. So the subject is Internet of Things. So introduction to Internet of Things, and the code is 22ETC15H. So myself, Dr. Jitesh. So I am showing you all the introduction to the class. So all of you can just note down the subject name and subject code. So introduction to Internet of Things. All of you can maintain one good notebook itself. Whatever I just discuss here, you can make a note of those things. It will be required for you for the entire semester. So one complete exclusive note you maintain. So what all things we have seen in the yesterday's class? Internet of Things means we are basically connecting one or the other together, electronic devices together to achieve some operations or some task which is required for the user, isn't it? So it is with the help of internet we are using that, and you can see that some of the examples are like if you say some command, it will switch on the light, switch off the light, switch on the fan, switch on the TV, whatever it is, it's all interconnected to each other because of a certain network. Okay, so we have to configure those things. That is what we have done before, is it not? So if you are doing anything of that kind, you have to configuration you have to do, and based on your setup, the functionality will move on further. So these are the when you study a course, you have some course objectives and course outcome. Course objectives means what? What you are going to learn in that course, and outcome means after you learn the course, what you are going to get out of that course. Okay. So these are some of the course objectives. So all of you can just make a note of these course objectives. So what is the first objective? So we are going to understand the fundamentals of Internet of Things. So what is all about? What are the fundamentals of Internet of Things? How the functionality is there? All those things we are going to study, and its building blocks along with their characteristics. How the what are the basic block diagram for that? What are the different layers associated with it? What is application layer? All those things we will be studying. So how this how the mode of operation has to be there. So everything we will be studying here. So the first one is to understand about the fundamentals of Internet of Things, its building blocks as well as its character. Okay, what is the second objective? Once you understand the recent applications in the domain of IoT, which is useful for the everyday lifestyle. So you know that in your home you are using, in your office you will be using, in industries you will be using. So different applications are there based on the requirement. So all of you should make a note of. You should know what are the course objectives and what are the course outcomes. Okay. So we will be discussing all those things. Then what is the third objective? Gain insights of about the current trends associated with IoT. So what are the current trends, what is the how the IoT functionality is there, how the characteristics of IoT is there, what is the performance analysis of IoT, all those things we'll be studying, and then what is the recent IoT based technologies which has evolved in this domain, which has some different applications like healthcare, agriculture, and what else we have seen, military applications. Then so many different applications, industrial application. So different places you can see the application of IoT and what is the IoT analysis. So what way you can analyze the complete concepts and what is required, the basic requirement for the functionality of these things. So these are the three basic course objectives of the subject. So what do you mean by objectives? You can understand that what are things you can learn once what are the things you are going to come across in these 5 modules. So those things will be understanding in this concept. So you can just note down these things and then we will move on to the upcoming concepts. Okay. So you should know what for you are studying and what is the course outcome when you study the entire process. What is that you are going to get out of this subject? So as we have discussed, you will be having higher order thinking assignments and all those things which you should be able to do it when you understand this concept. Or you have to try to build one of the other applications. Be in a group of 3 members or 4 members, you have to build some certain applications which will be helpful for you to enhance your skill sets. Okay, so these are some of the course objectives. Is that completed? Yes. So next we can see so these are the 5 modules which we have discussed in the last class as well. So the first module is what? Each module it covers almost 8 hours of concepts. So first one is that is basics of networking. So we will be studying introduction, network types, layered network models, and all those things. So different layers are there. So we will be studying those things. How many different types are there? See, like you can see some of that. You'll be communicating from one end to another, or you'll be having dual mode of communication. So all those things different types are there. Those things we'll be studying. Then emerging of IoT, where we'll be studying how the evolution of IoT, how the IoT concept has evolved, how it started in some around 20-25 years back, how this concept of connecting the things together with the help of internet has evolved. So those things will be what is the complexity of involved in it, what is the IoT network components involved in it, all those things we will be discussing in the module 1. And module 2, what it is basically IoT sensing and yeah. So what you will be seeing, you will be seeing different types of sensors. So you can see their characteristics, then sensing consideration actuators, and these types, different types are there. So it will be covered in the second module. So we'll be after understanding the basic concepts, we will be slightly moving on with different sensors, sensing devices, all those things will be doing it. Then third module is what? What is third module? IoT process topology and types. What are the different IoT topologies and what are the different types? For example, data format, importance of processing of IoT. Then what are the different technologies involved in that? Then we also will see how the device design takes place. So these are all which is going to be there in the module 3. So yesterday also we have discussed all these things, is it not? So you have to go through the syllabus. You can see all these things. Just to brief you about the main important concept, whatever you are going to see in the first 5 modules. These 5 modules. Okay, what is there in the module 4? Associated IoT technologies. So how the cloud computing process, then introduction of cloud computing, then what are the, we are not going too much into depth. We will be seeing what are the basic concepts of this and how you can still further improvise that by understanding more things, and when you work on certain applications and all those things. Okay. So we'll be also studying agriculture IoT, where introduction and case studies will be there. Here in the fifth module, you'll be going with IoT case studies and future trends. A little bit of vehicular IoT, healthcare IoT, and IoT analysis. What we will be seeing in the last portion is first we will be seeing about different applications, like in the field of agriculture, how the IoT is going to be successful. Yesterday I have told, like you are taking a certain field and you have to control the operations of certain like water, minerals, then pesticides. Everything you have want to be automated. Okay. So what you are going to do, you make the device in such a way that when there is a scarcity of water, you need to pump some amount of water into the field, or when there is lot of more water is there, you need to ensure that it is stopped. So everything will be automated, and there will be no control, or there is no need of any human to interfere once the everything is automated. For example, now your home, you are having different equipments like TV, then fridge, then AC, everything. But if you suddenly want to operate that sitting at some remote place, is it possible without the help of IoT? Not possible. So you have to configure everything to your mobile phone, and you make sure that everything happens smooth for you. Okay. So that is what nowadays it is very common for every industries as well as for every home, and everywhere you can see that these applications are playing a major role. We'll also discuss some of the concepts of machine learning. What are the different types of machine learning, and what do you mean by different algorithms and all in this IoT analytics. Okay. So here that is the last portion. So we'll see in the fifth module all of things. So further moving on, this anyhow you have the syllabus. You know, right, where the syllabus is available. So you need to go to VT website, where you can see that syllabus of scheme 22 is there. There you can find out IoT subject will be there. There you can download the scheme of the subject. I want all of you to download that by the next class. Okay. So you make sure that the syllabus is there with you, and which are the books you have to study. Everything should be clear for you. So this is the book which I was explaining about, Introduction to IoT. So that is the first book. You can see that Sudeep Mishra, that is Introduction to IoT, and it is by Cambridge University Press. So this is the book. As I have mentioned you, you can see this book which covers the entire syllabus. Only a single book, okay, which covers the entire syllabus of your IoT. Okay. You want to further read, you can read these three books, which is called as the reference book, along with this book. Okay. So these are, so you can just note down that book name. It is very important for us, for you to understand this book to be followed. So you can just write on Sudeep Mishra, and that is Introduction to IoT. This is the front sheet of the book. So there are even reference book. If you are more interested to learn about these concepts, you can see those books also. It is available in the library. This only one copy is there, but these copies are available. So you can just note down the textbook name. Anyhow, all the 5 modules you have seen, right? Keep a note of this syllabus in your. If it's a good practice to just paste the syllabus in your front sheet. Okay. Hence, if you are having the books, it's always good to just paste the syllabus here, so that at least you'll come to know what you are learning. Okay. So next we'll see. So this is called as a course outcome. Outcome means what? Once you learn the entire course, what you are going to understand. What is the outcome of learning? Why you need to learn this course? So first outcome, you can say that it will describe the evolution of IoT. Then also understand the IoT networks and components and addressing strategies. So as I have told you, how many levels are there? How many knowledge levels are there? 6 is there, isn't it? So K2 means what? What is K2? Knowledge level 2. How many levels are there? 6 levels are there. What are those first 3 levels and next 3 levels? So next 3 levels I told it is which comes under higher order and is it not? So this first starting when you don't know anything, we have to understand the concept. So that is what the outcome of this CO1 is. Describe the evolution of IoT networks and components and address strategy of IoT. So where that is knowledge level 2. Okay. So then we will be having classification of various sensing devices, actuators and types. So you will be understanding what are the different sensing devices, what is meant by actuator and how different types of that. That is knowledge level 3. Then we will be having demonstrate the process of IoT, how the IoT functionality is all about, all those things we will be discussing. That is third level. And then analyze the associated IoT technologies in that is K4, and analyze the architecture of IoT and application, it is K4. So we will be just beginning what with K2, K3 and K4 knowledge levels. Okay. So you can just note down these outcomes. Once you study the course, you can understand that these are the outcomes you are going to get it. So you'll be first understanding what are or you will be going to describe the evolution of IoT, how the IoT started, and IoT network components, addressing strategies, all those things. Then classification, how the various classifications has been done. Then you'll be going with the demonstration of process of IoT and analysis of IoT, and then you'll be going with the architecture of IoT applications. So it is in different levels K1, K2, K3, and K4. So you should also know that what is K1, K2, K3, K4, K5 and K6. You know that? Yeah, knowledge level 1. What is that? Remember. Then understand. Then analyze. Then play. Then evaluate and create. Okay. So you just note down that also beside the book, so that anytime you can just remember those things. If higher the knowledge level, then what you understand that you are going to create entire model. For example, you are creating a project. So it will come as knowledge level 4, 5 and 6. You are just reading a book. It will come under knowledge level 1 and 2. You are reading a book, you are understanding the concepts, all those things will come under knowledge level 1 and 2. So we'll be having here various knowledge levels K2, K3 and K4. So I will be going with slides. So you can, whatever important points are there, you can keep a note of those things. So completely any subject. No problems. So if you should always know that what is course outcome. We have also discussed about course objectives and course outcome. You have also know that what are the knowledge levels, what are the different knowledge levels, everything we have discussed. Is that clear for everyone? So how many course outcomes we have? 5 course outcomes we have. So completed. So next we will see so write on module 1. So first module 1, what we are going to see, basics of networking and emergence of networking. So means IoT. So we are here we are going to see basics of networking first, and then the next portion will be emergence of IoT. So the first one is in first chapter of the textbook, okay, 1.1 to 1.3. So where we will be studying the introduction, network types and layered network model. This just write down these two. It's enough. No need to write the entire first module. Basics of networking and emergence of IoT. So you maintain a good notebook for that. It will be easy for you to read and understand faster. So we can see that first we will be going with the introduction. Yesterday's class also I have given a brief introduction about IoT. So let's start with the basics of networking, the module one. So what is that introduction of IoT? What you can see, where what is the basic need of this things? What will be doing? Data transfer. Data transfer means what? Yeah, that is the data and the information centric operations of every right from agriculture, military operations, and all rely on the IoT concepts. You can see that in the, as I have discussed, in the field of agriculture, in the field of military, then in the industrial applications, all this IoT plays a major role. So we are just giving an introduction. What you can see, the operations of various organizations like military and various countries speed up the nature of operations. So what it is happening nowadays, see, if you are not using the technology in the right time, what will happen? If, for example, you are in a place, now you are having a battle between two countries, okay, a war between two countries, what we can say? If one is having an advanced technology, another is not having an advanced technology, this country will completely occupy the other one. Yes or no? You know that, right? So what will happen? This can track the entire whatever missiles or whatever it comes to it. It can make sure that it is not going to destroy the entire scenario. So what you can, the technology is going to play a role. Now, what is if there is a war as of today? Whether people are going and fighting? No. It is the higher end equipment which is going to destroy or make sure that there is a difference which is going to create between the two nations. So that is what we are also, when it comes to military applications and all, various countries, speed and nature of information are very critical in the transfer of information. And see, if you are getting information 2 minutes early to what is this, if your technology is not strong enough, it will be, there will be so much of delay process can take place. Have you, in your childhood, you can see that it was some 2G and now it is 4G. Now you are using 5G, you have not started using 5G, right? Okay, now we are practically using 4G, right? So, is there anyone using 5G? No, because just it is yet to be implemented in the country. Okay. So, what was when you are seeing a movie for in 2G and you are seeing a movie in 4G, you can see that there is a lot of difference. So that's what it is going to create when the technology is having a lot of advancement. So in the field of military applications and all, it is very important to have a very fast transfer of information so that to maintain an edge over others. Edge over others means what? If you are having, you can see that in 26th January and all those things, they will be displaying saying that we have this, India is having this type of equipment. These are why they are doing that. To showcase that, see, our country is having this much of infrastructure facilities, and these are the technological improvements. So why? What will happen when you have more advanced technologies? The transfer of information will be fast, and all those things you can say. And today's world really depends on what? Depends on data and networking. So data and networking is a very key as of today. You know that if I leave you somewhere where you are not able to connect to your friends or your family, can you imagine as of today? No, but the same people were living some 10 to 20 years back. Whether they were getting connected that time? No. So that is the importance of networking it has created as of today that we cannot imagine even being isolated for an hour. So that is the trend or that is which is said, and it's all said because of the advancement of technology and information from anywhere on the earth can be transmitted without any problem. So that is why it's very important to have a bigger advanced setup, or we that is the need of this understanding about IoT and its requirement. Okay, so that's what you can see here. I have left side. You can see that how the military operations are being monitored and it is being controlled, isn't it? So you can see this guy sitting here and observing what is the process going on there. So that is the reason you can understand that how important the technology is all about as of today. If there is a slight variation in the advancement of technology, you can entirely create a lot of difference. So you can just have these things. You can note down those things. It will be introduction of this basics of networking module 1 and introduction. So the major role of IoT is to have a better data transfer with a proper networking facilities on this. And how the instant availability of information you are making it through, how you are setting up the entire network process, all these things are very important. How the speed of operation takes place, how the nature of information is being transferred, then which are the different applications you are going to utilize this facility. That over? Okay, one. Is that done?
When you're doing video about the Kala, please discuss Kala when the job is done. You should discuss to help a meeting or else not help for the DJ and you'll not be given the ideas. And first day we have cross day, you'll be awarded as Miss Kalababa and Mr. Kalababa by the celebrities. And second day is handled by all of you. Third day we are having DJ. Do register and whoever is not following the Kalababa receives the call. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. You can just see next. We'll see about networking. It's a continuation of the same. So what do you mean by networking? What is networking? Yeah, networking means linking the computers or communication between the networks. So communication of networks. You have heard about host. I think these terms will be common to you. Host and all you have seen. So you can see that different equipments are there. You can call it as host. So like you have to connect one device to another. So then you call it as networking. Okay. So you can see that which interconnects through the how it is going to interconnect one device to another. Either you need an internet facility or you need an intranet facility. So with the help of internet or intranet, you can connect one device or one device to another. So when you have a connectivity between one device to another with the help of internet or intranet, you call it as a network. These things are quite commonly known to you. And what you can the separation by unique devices identified. You have internet protocol. Some of the concepts you need to understand is internet protocol, IP address, media access control, MAC address. These are all some of the things required in order to connect one device to another. Then you can also see that these hosts may be connected by a single path or through multiple paths for sending and receiving data. For example, you are having two mobile phones, one mobile phone and another mobile phone. So you have a connectivity between them, or you are having you can have a single path or you can have a multiple path of operation. You can have different, like you can say that you send some information, you get back some information as well. Okay. Then you can say that the data transfer between the hosts may be in which form? It will be in the form of text, it will be in the form of image, it will be in the form of video and all those things. So we can see that the data transfer between the hosts may be video, text, image, and typically in the form of a binary bit stream. So these are all the things which you can understand, where you can see that a host links the device, one device to another. It is being connected. How it is being connected with the help of internet or intranet, and you can use that for the data transfer. For example, text message, for then image or a video transfer. Anything can be done. It can be a unidirectional transfer or a bidirectional transfer of information. So that is all about the introduction part. So here we have seen the different applications of IoT, as well as we have seen what is the importance of networking, connecting one device to another. What are the different ways of connecting it? What is the importance of internet protocol, IP address, as well as MAC address in order to connect one device to another? And you basically need to have internet or intranet facility to connect between the devices. So these things are quite known to you. And you also know that the connection it can be in a single path model or it can be in a multi-path model. So those things we will be seeing, and you can also see that the information will be it will be in the sending mode or the receiving mode. So those things are there, and you also know that you will be either transferring the data in the form of text, image, or video. Okay. So that is what it is going to take place between the devices. For example, you have around 5 mobile phones with you and you connect each other, then you send some data. You can see that how the data transfer takes place. That is the same thing which is being discussed here. Okay, or you have some other laptop is connected, mobile is connected, so many other devices are being connected to each other. You're going to connect how? With the help of internet or intranet facility, and you're going to transfer one information from one end to another. Okay. So that is all about introduction for today. So we will go with the next class with network types and all. Okay. So see, that is you can see like LAN connections and all. So we will continue that in the next class. You can just make a note of these things.